Do you know where you are? You are in the zone. Welcome, I'm Becca Pruitt-Denny, and we have some hot new videos for you, and some of your favorites. We'll also talk about a topic that divides even close friends, so stick around. But first, Lindsay's going to give us our video lineup.
Thanks, Becca. On this week's program, we have new videos from Trinity 5-7, 38th Parallel, plus favorites from Rebecca St. James, and a classic from Big Tent Revival. But first, we are going to check in with our very own Kimar, who has our first video.
Yo, thanks, Lindsay. Hey, y'all ready to get this thing started? It's about to be off the chain. Check it out. We got this new band. They've been touring with Skillet, Benjamin Gate. This is their brand new debut on the low. We got it right here on the zone. Here's 38th Parallel with Horizon on the zone, baby. Right here.
Another day burns away into darkness. Another blink of the eye of time. I am straining through the blackness, ever searching for a sign.
The days grow long and the days grow dark and the days grow ever colder. The trust that I started with fades as I get older. Though the road is hard, it seems to me there is no way around this. From all you've done for me, I know you'll never break your promise.
So you're at the end of this day, where the world is shaded in gray. I will look to blue horizons and watch for you to come. Where my hope is shattered and torn, where my faith is weathered and worn. I look to the blue horizons. I am still walking, evading the shadows. I am still running a narrow line. I'll go wherever you would have me go, ever searching for a sign.
Days grow long and the days grow dark and the days grow ever colder. The trust that I started with fades as I get older. Though the road is hard, it seems to me there is no way around this. From all you've done for me, I know you'll never break your promise.
So you're at the end of this day, where the world is shaded in gray. I will look to blue horizons and watch for you to come. Where my hope is shattered and torn, where my faith is weathered and worn. I look to the blue horizons.
Days grow long and the days grow dark and the days grow ever colder. The trust that I started with fades as I get older. Though the road is hard, it seems to me there is no way around this. From all you've done for me, I know you'll never break your promise.
So you're at the end of this day, where the world is shaded in gray. I will look to blue horizons and watch for you to come. Where my hope is shattered and torn, where my faith is weathered and worn. I look to the blue horizons.
Wherever you say, have me go, I'll go. Wherever you say, I'll go.
I look to the blue horizons. Wherever I'll go.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and we just saw 38th Parallel with their new video, Horizon, right here on The Zone. Now, if you would like to learn more about the 38th Parallel, You can check them out on their website at 38thparallel.com. And now let's check in with Kimar to get this week's discussion started.
Thank you, Tiffany. And as we said earlier, today we'll be addressing an issue that cannot be ignored. This is an issue that must be addressed. This is an issue that deals with the sanctity of life, and at its core is the question of abortion. Many of us have heard the arguments of pro-life versus pro-choice, but abortion affects us all. As a matter of fact, there are 3,200 cases of abortion that are reported daily in America alone. 1/3 of our generation has been wiped out by abortion. So as you can see, this is an issue that deals with us all. Joining us in the studio today is Kaylin Hogan, who is the new youth outreach coordinator for is it called the Center of Life and Hope?
The Center for Life and Hope.
Okay, and we're glad to have you in the studio today. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, in the media, Kaylin, we've seen and we've heard, a lot of negative thoughts about abortion and pro-life, especially pro-life. And we know these aren't true because they're not dealing in a lot of truth. In what ways can you address this, and why are you so passionate about this issue of pro-life?
I'm so passionate about because when I was a sophomore in high school, 2 of my friends became pregnant. One chose to parent her child and one chose to have an abortion. And by being friends with them, I saw firsthand how abortion negatively affects women and men spiritually, emotionally, and physically for years to come. And because of that, I have come to know that the pro-life movement at its core is about upholding the dignity of life and helping people with true freedom and hope and joy in carrying their children to term.
But what about the people who are out in our audience, the people who may be watching? They may feel like, wow, that's really deep, but I've never had that opportunity. I've never seen someone affected by this. What would you say to them that would, what can they do to make a difference? What would you say to that person?
Well, half of the abortions that occur every single day occur to high school and college women. So we're on the front lines of the abortion debate. And a friend might come to us first if she's pregnant or if his girlfriend's pregnant. Mm-hmm. And so you have that opportunity first and foremost to extend Christ's love and acceptance to that person and to help them find someone to support them and walk with them through this strange journey.
So just be there for that person and help them make the right decisions.
Yeah, and young people all over this nation are taking an active role in the movement. They're holding rock concerts for life, okay. And they're walking across the nation to raise awareness, and they're also forming youth groups in their own colleges and high schools. Wow.
Thanks, Kaylin. As you can see, this is a very complicated issue, and what we're trying to do is add a little bit insight on it, just to make you think about it a little bit more. Stay tuned, because up next we're going to be talking to a young lady who had to make a critical decision about an unplanned pregnancy. But first, we have to check in with Lindsay for our next video.
Up next, we're featuring an artist who is very passionate about the abstinence movement. In this next video, she's honoring her future husband and God by abstaining from sex until marriage. Here is Rebecca St. James with Wait For Me, here in the Zone.
When we meet for the first time, and darling, did you know that I pray about you, praying that you will hold on, and keep your loving eyes only for me, 'cause I am waiting for, praying for you, darling. Wait for me too, wait for me as I wait for you, 'cause I am waiting for, praying for you, darling. Wait for me too. Wait for me as I wait for you. Darling, did you know I dream about life together, knowing you will be forever. I'll be yours and you'll be mine. Till death do us part, I'll meet her with all of my heart. Now and always faithful to you, 'cause I am waiting for, praying for you, darling. Wait for me too. Wait for me as I wait for you, 'cause I am waiting for, praying for you, darling. Wait for me
Rebecca St. James, Wait for Me. Coming up, we have more from our special guest, the Center for Life and Hope, and videos from Trinity 5-7 and Big Tent Revival, so stick around. But it's about that time. We'll have to see you in 2.
Zone, and it is time for us to check our email of the week, which comes from Claire, who watches on TCT in Williamsville, New York. And Claire writes, I really wish you would put your show on earlier because sometimes my parents do not allow me to stay up so late the night before church. Thanks, Claire. You know, there's not a whole lot we can do about what time the Zone comes on. It's all up to the TV station. But what you might want to do is write to your local TV station and ask them if they could put the Zone on at an earlier time. Or another thing you might want to do is tape the Zone, and then you could watch it later on. But if you all would like your favorite video played or your email read on the air, all you need to do is send us a request at info@surfthezone.com, and make sure you give us your whole mailing address, because if we read your email on the air, we will send you a free t-shirt, and we need your address for that. So it's time to move on. We have more music for you from Trinity 5-7, who's just released their latest project, The Kiss. Here is their brand new video called Holla, here in the Zone.
Took everything you had, make it through the night. Have you ever had a week that brought you to your knees, and it made it hard to pray, but you did it anyway? You must be trying to find it before gold. Does anybody have to cry? Do you really want to testify? That fire burning down in your soul.
Get it praising like Psalms 150 and 6. Have you ever totally let yourself be free to the one who gave you life abundantly? You must be tried in the fire before gold. Has anybody had to cry? Do you really want to testify? That fire burning down in your jump, do whatever you do. Let life get the best of you. To open y'all, put your back up on the wall. Get that left step right when you do your move. Let your body feel this boom. Shakalaka, boom.
It's Jiggy J Moss, better known as Ricky Styles. Holla if you hear me now. Ladies set it off, floss the product. Fellas floss the 20s and flaunt the dollar. Worldwide as we glide from city to city, state to state, as we cultivate your faith. For Jam and Trinity, the diamond remedy, praise extremity. Like get your hop on.
Jump, do whatever you do. Let life get the best of you. To open y'all, put your back up on the wall. Get that left step right when you do your move. Let your body feel this boom. Shakalaka, boom. Shakalaka. Jump, do whatever you do. Let life get the best of you. To open y'all, put your back up on the wall. Get that left step right when you do your move. Let your body feel this boom.
Is anybody hearing me? I wonder, are you feeling me?
Yeah.
Throw your hands up, come on. Does anybody have to cry? Do you really want to testify? Yeah.
Come on now, move side to side.
Welcome back. That was Trinity 5-7 with Holla, one of my favorites. You got to go buy the album. But check it out. Earlier, we were talking about sanctity of life and the pro-life movement and what they're doing to make a difference in the lives of those who are faced with a tough decision of unwanted pregnancies. We're going to check in with Becca as she continues this week's discussion with a very special guest.
Thanks, Kmar. Yes, I do have a special guest. It's Nicole. And Nicole was actually a freshman in college when she found out she was pregnant. Nicole, what was your reaction? I mean, were you overwhelmed?
It was very overwhelming. It's not the thing that I truly expected to ever have happened to me. I was abstinent until I got to college, and because of peer pressure, I caved in and had sex, and unfortunately, I became pregnant, and I realize now that there are so many women out there that share that circumstance, but that was something that I truly never thought would happen to me.
Yeah, and of course, you wait till you go to college, and then boom, when you do it, the effects of it. Well, what was your parents' reactions and your boyfriend's reactions?
Well, my parents took it very hard. They wished I would have told them sooner. I waited until I was 4 months pregnant to let them know. And they were just crushed. They also didn't think I would be one of those women that had that happen. And my boyfriend, unfortunately, wasn't very supportive. His answer was abortion. He said he would pay for it, and the reasons he gave were that I could finish my education and that none of our families would have to know, and he just unfortunately wasn't as supportive.
Nicole decided to carry the baby full term, and she chose adoption versus abortion. So why did you make that choice?
For me, abortion wasn't an option. My options were adoption or to parent my child. And looking at what I had in life, I didn't have a college education. I still lived at home with my parents. And I just realized that the best choice for my child would be adoption.
So you made a responsible decision. So what about someone who's struggling with what you struggled with? They're young and they're in school and they're pregnant. What would your advice to them be?
My advice would be, please seek help. There are so many resources out there for you. One great one is the Center for Life and Hope. I know that I could not have done it without my family and my friends. They were a great support network, and without them, it just wouldn't have been as wonderful as it turned out to be.
Very good to tell people and talk about it. If you guys are struggling with this or are trying to figure out what your options are, you can call the Center for Life and Hope. The number is 614-864-4500. We're going to talk more about this coming up and also have a video from you for Big Tent Revival. It's Choose Life, coming up after the break.
A choice is set before you now, living or dying, blessing or cursing, and know the time has come around to turn from your fighting and rest in His mercy. Choose life that you might live, the life that He gives you forever. Choose life the way that is true, from the one who chose you, your Father in heaven. Choose life. Trust the Lord with all your heart, with all of your soul, and all of your being. Hold on
right, it's time for us to wrap up, but there are some things I want to share with you. After 18 days, a baby has a heartbeat. After 8 weeks, it has fingerprints. And after 9 weeks, it can feel pain. So it feels the pain of an abortion. You know, there's a flip side to this. If you've had an abortion and are dealing with feelings of guilt or maybe just confusion, God is a God of healing and forgiveness. He can forgive you no matter what you've done and bring restoration to your heart. He really can. So with these heavy thoughts, until next week in the Zone.